Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's making headlines across the world. Kyiv's major blow to Russia, the reported destruction of the Crimea Bridge. This is not just another event in the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia. This is a symbolic strike, a message, and a turning point in one of the most intense conflicts of our time. What really happened, what it means for both sides, and how this could change the course of the war. Let's break it all down. For years, the Crimea Bridge has been more than just steel and concrete to Russia. It represented connection, the physical and emotional link between the mainland and Crimea, the territory it annexed in 2020. For Ukraine, that same bridge was a scar, a symbol of occupation, and a daily reminder of the territory lost. So, when reports came flooding in that Kyiv had successfully targeted and destroyed the bridge once again, the world stopped to listen. Explosions lit up the night sky near the Kerch Strait. Satellite images later showed massive damage to parts of the bridge. Russia immediately went into emergency mode, sealing off the area, halting traffic, and launching investigations into what it called a terrorist act. Ukraine, on the other hand, stayed deliberately quiet at first. But behind the silence, the message was clear. Nowhere is safe for the Russian military machine, not even its proudest engineering triumph. The bridge has always been a strategic lifeline. It carried troops, weapons, and supplies from Russia into Crimea, fueling its war efforts in southern Ukraine. Destroying it cuts a critical supply route, forcing Russia to rely on vulnerable sea and land corridors that are under constant Ukrainian surveillance. Military analysts say this strike could cripple Russian logistics and slow down operations in the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson regions. But this attack wasn't just military. It was psychological. The Crimea Bridge was personally championed by Vladimir Putin. He drove a truck across it during its opening in 2018, calling it a symbol of Russia's strength and unity. Its destruction is like a direct challenge, a message that Ukraine can strike deep, that the war is far from over, and that Russian control is not invincible. The footage of the burning bridge spread fast. Russian social media went into shock. State television tried to downplay the damage, but independent videos told another story. Collapsed sections, charred metal, and debris floating in the dark waters below. It was chaos. Panic set in among civilians trying to flee Crimea through alternate routes. Ferry terminals were overwhelmed. Lines of cars stretched for miles. Meanwhile, in Kyiv, the mood was different. Officials hinted that more strikes could follow. The tone was confident, even defiant. After months of facing relentless Russian missile attacks, Ukrainians saw this as justice. A counterblow, a statement that they could hit back with precision and purpose. The strike wasn't just revenge, it was strategy. Experts believe that Ukraine likely used advanced Western-supplied weapons, possibly long-range missiles or naval drones. If confirmed, this marks a new chapter in warfare, where technology and intelligence converge to hit even the most fortified targets. Russia's vaunted defenses, radar systems, and patrol boats couldn't stop it. That failure is sending shockwaves through Moscow's military command. In the Kremlin, there's anger and embarrassment. Putin reportedly held emergency meetings, demanding answers and vowing revenge. State media quickly shifted the narrative, blaming Ukrainian terrorists and Western interference. But beneath the propaganda, there's a real concern. If Ukraine can reach Crimea, what's next? Could they hit Russian bases deeper inland? Could they threaten the Black Sea Fleet itself? The strike on the Crimea Bridge didn't happen in isolation. It's part of a broader Ukrainian counteroffensive that's been intensifying in recent months. Kyiv has been pushing hard across multiple fronts, testing Russian lines, and reclaiming small but strategic territories. Each success adds pressure, and each failure exposes Russia's vulnerabilities. The bridge strike amplifies that momentum, showing the world that Ukraine's fight is far from fading. But there's another layer to this. Symbolism. To Ukrainians, the destruction of the bridge represents a moral victory, a crack in the illusion of Russian permanence in Crimea. For years, Russia boasted that Crimea was untouchable, beyond the reach of Ukrainian arms. This attack shatters that myth. It reignites hope among Ukrainians who dream of seeing the peninsula free again. In Moscow, propaganda outlets are scrambling. They're trying to assure citizens that the bridge will be repaired quickly, that security has been tightened, that control remains firm. But the damage to Russia's image may be far harder to fix than the steel beams of the bridge. Even loyal supporters are questioning how such an important structure, supposedly one of the most protected in the country, could be hit again. Internationally, reactions have been cautious. Western officials praised Ukraine's determination, but avoided direct comment on the operation itself. NATO allies reiterated their support, while emphasizing the need to defend Ukraine's sovereignty. Meanwhile, China and other nations friendly to Russia have remained silent, not wanting to appear aligned with what increasingly looks like a losing side. The strike has also reignited discussions about Crimea's future. Is this the beginning of Ukraine's effort to reclaim it militarily? Can Ukraine sustain such operations deep into occupied territory? Experts are divided. Some argue that Ukraine's capabilities are still limited to Lysian, and that symbolic strikes like this are meant to shake confidence rather than initiate an all-out campaign. Others believe this could be the prelude to a larger offensive aimed at isolating Crimea completely. One thing is certain. This strike sends a loud and clear message. Ukraine has reach, resolve, and readiness. The bridge's destruction isn't just about infrastructure. It's about power. It shows that Russia's sense of control is slipping, that even its most iconic symbols are vulnerable, and that no fortress is too strong to fall. For ordinary Russians, the attack hits differently. Many had believed Crimea was safe, insulated from the war raging elsewhere. Now, fear has reached their doorsteps. For the first time, they're feeling the war's proximity, not through television screens, but through reality. And for Putin, that's dangerous. Public confidence is his greatest weapon, and it's starting to crack. Ukraine's strategy has been evolving. Instead of direct confrontations, it's using precision strikes, cyber warfare, and psychological tactics. By targeting logistics, morale, and propaganda, Kyiv is slowly eroding the foundation of Russia's war machine. The Crimea Bridge is the latest, and perhaps most symbolic, example of this new phase. But war, as always, comes with consequences. Russia is expected to retaliate hard. Already, reports indicate new missile barrages over Ukrainian cities. Civilian infrastructure, energy plants, railways, water supplies could again become targets. It's a vicious cycle of strike and counterstrike, each one escalating the stakes. Still, Ukraine seems prepared for that. The resilience of its people has become legendary. Even as the war drags into its third year, the spirit of defiance remains unbroken. The bridge's destruction serves as fuel, a reminder that victory is built one strike, one act of resistance at a time. Across Europe, leaders are watching closely. Energy prices, trade routes, and political stability are all linked to how this war unfolds. The bridge's destruction could shift dynamics, especially if Russia's logistics continue to weaken. Some analysts even suggest that this might accelerate diplomatic efforts, as Russia finds itself increasingly cornered both militarily and economically. But in the end, beyond politics and strategy, this story is about symbolism, the struggle of a nation fighting to reclaim its dignity and land. Every explosion, every act of defiance tells a story of resistance against overwhelming odds. The Crimea Bridge, once a monument to Russian dominance, now lies shattered, a metaphor for the fragility of power built on occupation and force. And Somewhere in the night sky over the Black Sea, the echoes of that explosion carry more than just sound. They carry a message that Ukraine refuses to be silenced, that even in darkness, light can find a way through, that even when a bridge falls, the spirit of a nation can rise higher than ever before. What happens next? No one truly knows. But one thing is clear: this war has entered a new phase. Ukraine has shown it can hit where it hurts most. Russia, once confident and untouchable, now faces uncertainty and fear. The world watches as history unfolds, as the tides of power shift, and as the battle for freedom continues. For the people of Ukraine, this moment is not just about revenge, it's about hope. Hope that one day their skies will be free of missiles. Hope that one day they'll walk across bridges of peace, not war. I hope that one day Crimea will once again be part of a united, sovereign Ukraine. So as the smoke settles over the Kerch Bridge and the bridge lies broken in the water, the message is written loud and clear. This war is far from over, but Ukraine is not backing down. It's fighting with courage, strategy, and heart, and no amount of propaganda or missiles can change that truth. Thank you all for watching and staying with us through this powerful story. Remember, every detail matters in understanding how this conflict shapes our world. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because as this war evolves, we'll keep bringing you the stories that matter, raw, real, and unfiltered. Until next time, stay strong, stay informed, and never stop seeking the truth. This is not just history unfolding, it's humanity fighting for its future. And as Ukraine stands tall against the storm, the world stands witness.